Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. This is the case of the Idaho quadruple murders. May the victims rest in peace and may justice be served. Jack D is Kaylee Congav's ex-boyfriend. At the night of the murders, Maddie and Kaylee made 10 calls to Jack D. The last call was made at 2:52 a.m. That was at the same time the Banfield body cam alcohol minor stop was going on. What happened to the girls after the last phone call was made? Could someone have brutally attacked them? Could they have thought that they saw someone that looks like Jack D? They say pictures speak louder than words at times. Look at this picture in front of y'all. This was on the tribute to the memorial to the 4 victims in the university campus of Idaho, Moscow. We have Steve, Kaylee's father, giving this look at Jack D, who's holding Kaylee's mother. I think that Kaylee's mother felt sorry for him at the start. They all were standing in the stage. And what I found strange is that Jack was not allowed, I'm sure by the parents, to give a speech. Although Kaylee is his ex-girlfriend, he dated Kaylee for a couple of years. He knows Maddie well. So why did the family not let Jack speak? I find that to be really interesting. The family were on stage, Kaylee's 2 younger sisters, her sister Elvira, her brother Steve Jr., and the father-mother. As soon as Jack enters the stage, you will see that the sisters give him this look, and the brother, like wondering why he's even up on stage. Was it because the family wasn't sure if Jack D was involved? Jack D was the last person to be ruled out in this investigation. And I find that to be a red flag. John Jack Showalter, the hoodie guy in the grub truck video, was actually ruled out before Jack D. Why did the girls call Jack D 10 times? I know that Elvira, Kaylee's older sister, said that it was a drunk call, that Kaylee would do that, but I believe there's more to that than just being a drunk call. Why did Maddie call, or why did Kaylee call from Maddie's phone? The sad thing is the victims are no longer here. They have no voice of their own to explain what was exactly going on. Jack D allegedly was sleeping. The reason I say allegedly is there's no proof that he was sleeping. The person who confirmed that he was sleeping was his roommate. That happens to be Adam. What was said to Adam? We heard Kaylee saying in a very stressed voice, "Maddie, what did you tell Adam?" And Maddie said, "I told Adam like everything." What was said to Adam? A father of a victim giving such a look to an ex-boyfriend says a lot for me. I've never ruled out, personally, the two Jacks in this picture. There was another Jack too, Jack K, who was sending Venmos between him and Eaton, but he wasn't part of the investigation. Jack D lives just at least 2 minutes away from Kaylee and the victims. He lives in a very short block. He could have jumped out from the window, allegedly, gone through the trees and bushes or forest, and he would have been in a couple of seconds in the girl's house, allegedly. Is that the reason Jack D was ruled out last? Let's not forget that Jack D and Kaylee share a dog called Murphy. Murphy is a part of this case. I wish dogs and animals could talk. In most of the crimes that tragically end up to be homicides, we always know that the spouse, partners, lovers, whatever we call them, are always on the focus in the beginning until they're ruled out. In this case, Jack D, I personally believe, and Jack Showalter, the Sigma Chi fraternity boys, especially the two Davids, and many of the other students were ruled out too quickly. I wonder why. This is where Jack D used to live. I don't know if he still lives there. He could have just jumped out from his window behind and gone through the trees and gone to the other side of the victim's block. We don't know what access was used. The police said it was the sliding door, most likely, or the window near the sliding door. We saw the crime scenes, forensic, doing some forensic on the small window near the sliding door. Or somebody could have known the code to come into the front door. Every roommate allegedly has a different code. And if Jack D and Kaylee was dating, he would have definitely had a code. Unless Kaylee changed it. Isn't it strange that that was the last phone call made by the girls, both the victims, Maddie and Kaylee, 10 times to Jack D? Let's not forget that Jack D was one of the last persons to see the girls too, because he was in the corner club with the girls. The timestamp was at 1:35. Did they have a quarrel? Was there argument? Was it something that was told to Adam, allegedly? Kaylee was moving to Houston, Texas. We all knew about that. And then she planned to go on a trip to Europe for a year. Could that have made Jack D upset? Kaylee was a pretty girl. Did Jack D feel like he was losing everything? We know, and I'll show you all, that Jack D used to follow Kaylee on Instagram, but Kaylee wasn't following Jack D on Instagram. It seemed like Kaylee wanted to make a fresh start. Her room was packed. She's moving to Houston. And Houston is actually where, allegedly, Adam lives now. Where was Jack D that night? It seems like it was very easy to climb the roof where Jack D lived. And look at the car downstairs. That looks like a Hyundai Elantra to me. I mentioned that a couple of times. You see a white pickup car there too. And that looked like allegedly the one that we saw driving towards the corner club. It could be possible since Jack D was in the corner club. Was this the car that the police were searching for? And why wasn't Jack D ruled out immediately? You see the same car in front of the house. I wonder where that car was, if it was properly investigated for forensics. Nothing should be ruled out. We had Kaylee's mother saying that the police are wasting their time on Jack D. Does that mean the police were really curious in investigating Jack D? They must have taken time to rule him out. I wonder why. This was Kaylee's Instagram, and you can see that Jack D was following her, but Kaylee was ignoring him. She wasn't following him. He states there, "I love you," but you don't see any reply back from Kaylee. Was he maybe upset, jealous? Because don't forget, not only was he going to lose his girlfriend, the love of his life, he was going to lose his dog too. We know that Kaylee, according to her parents, who heard from the coroner that Kaylee had the worst injuries, may she rest in peace. So was Kaylee the target? Or was Maddie the target because she was first? Or was it Xana and Ethan? Were they all targets from different people? I'm starting to believe that Kaylee and Maddie were targets by a certain group, and that Ethan and Xana were targets by the fraternity, by the Sigma Chi fraternity. I ain't accusing them, but I'm pointing it out because there was allegedly a fight with the couple and some people in the Sigma Chi. I believe it's the two Davids. It was brewing for a while, for a couple of months. So did everyone decide to attack these four innocent people at the same time? Or did Ethan and Xana's attack start first, and maybe someone like Jack D allegedly, or Jack Showalter took advantage of the situation and attacked these other girls too? How come DM and BF weren't the targets? The small window near the kitchen on the right-hand side is where the forensics was really busy taking forensic evidence. They were using their brush, they were taking pictures, and they're very focused on that place. That window is too small for Brian Christopher Koberger to even pop his head in. Was it someone small? The entry to the window, or maybe the window was left open, so they found a way to access it. This was one of the 3 unidentified DNAs. It was on the Good Vibes frame. This is one of the evidence that the prosecutor Thompson isn't handing over. Why? I believe whoever did this horrific crimes knew the dog Murphy. I don't believe it's easy for a stranger to make such a careless move by entering a house that has a dog and has 5 victims plus Ethan. 6 people were in the house. And a stranger would have did his homework better. He wouldn't just take that chance of coming into house when he doesn't know the layouts inside the house. Let's not forget Jack D is a professional tennis player. He has strong arms. That we say his arm and his hand muscles are really strong. I'm not accusing him, but I'm just wondering. He's close to his dog, and we've seen Adam playing with the dog too. How many people know Murphy is the question. Murphy wasn't injured. Murphy didn't have any DNA evidence on him. So was Murphy taken out while the murders were taking place, allegedly? And was he brought back to Kaylee's room during the day before 911 was called? It's completely possible. Jack D has a white car, a white Hyundai Elantra that was spotted near his house several times. It was parked there. Most of these students know each other. It could have been a targeted crime from many of the fraternities. The Greek-style life. Were they dealing with drugs, allegedly? Money laundering? What was going on? Or was it just hate, jealousy that brewed up, that was brewing for a long time? Take a look at this picture. I really need someone to explain to me what is going on with Jack D's eye to start with. The left-hand side eye is really small. It looks swollen His lips look swollen for me, and his cheek looks a bit swollen. If you go to his hands, notice how that hand is really swollen. It looks like he has Band-Aid or something on, allegedly. Look at this hand. It looks like he has plasters on this hand. 1 or 2 fingers. You can see it's white. And look at that hand, how swollen it is. So please explain to me why Jack D looked like that a couple of hours after, not even a couple of hours, when the crime was finally reported after 8 hours to the police. This is how he looked like. And this doesn't look, this looks like, I don't know what to say, very suspicious to me. Where was Jack D that night? Was he really sleeping? His fingers are plastered. Many people try to actually say, oh no, as soon as I mention Jack D, I always get hate comments. But I'm going to point out what I see, and it doesn't look right to me. This is interesting. Is that the reason Jack D was ruled out last by Moscow police? What was really going on that night and that day, the following day? This is when he came to pick up Murphy the dog. I'm not saying that Jack D did something, but was he involved? Did he know what was going on? Jack D seems to have bruises and swelling on his face. He has bruises clearly in his eye. The other hand looks swollen, and this one has plasters on. These are the things we're supposed to search for after murders has happened, especially with sharp blade or sharp-edged weapons. So what did DM see? Or who did she see? Did she know the suspect? Because black clothing, mask, and bushy eyebrows seems to me like any random description. Could DM and BF have been threatened not to speak by the suspects, or were they told not to speak by the police due to the gag order?
Kaylee's ex-boyfriend, and on the Moscow police website, though, he is not listed notably as someone who has been cleared in the investigation. To your knowledge, is that significant?
No. I don't personally think so, because I think that there's the entire rest of the world that's also not on that list of people who have been cleared.
Right.
When the question has been asked to the family if they find it odd that Jack D wasn't cleared by the police, he was just cleared, he was the last person to be cleared, just pay attention to when Olivia is talking, the father keeps quiet. You can see that the brother nods his head. I find that to be strange.
And on the Moscow police website, though, he is not listed notably as someone who has been cleared in the investigation. To your knowledge, is that significant?
No. I don't personally think so, because I think that there's the entire rest of the world that's also not on that list of people who have been cleared,
Right.
Including Maddie's boyfriend, including any associates of Xana or Ethan that might not be involved. I don't find that significant at all.
We can see clearly that the brother nodded his head like he agreed that it was strange that Jack D was not cleared. But Oliveria keeps on defending Jack D, and the mother does, I've noticed that. But the father, Steve, the brother, Steve Jr., and the two younger siblings don't seem to be very fond of Jack D. And neither does the police, because he was cleared out the last on the list. And when Oliveira is saying neither was Maddie's boyfriend, in fact, he was cleared. He was cleared quicker than Jack D, although he's from the Sigma Chi fraternity.